The Independent 76 Fire Company, we took our name from the original fire department in town. The founding fathers were all Masonic Lodge members, and the Masonic Lodge number was 76 here. And their first hand pumping engine, they named it the Independent 76. We're a not-for-profit historical society, 501c3 tax deductible, and we basically maintain and restore the fire apparatus that you see here today. The 60 Seagrave, we've given approximately 25,000 kids fire truck rides. We started in 1990 when the city was going to scrap that truck and take it out of service, and we talked them into donating it to us to use for funerals, birthday parties, fire truck rides for kids, public education, public relations with the fire department. Start right here with the 1928 American La France. We recovered this in Alvin, Texas in 1993. It left the city in '53, and we found it by accident in Alvin, Texas. And it did not look like this when we brought it home. This was about a 15 to 20 year restoration, but again, we're a not-for-profit organization relying on donations, and the cost of restoring the apparatus has grown tremendously. It has a hand crank start. It also has an electric start, but the technology in the 20s with battery power was not very good. So they always put a hand crank start on all the early automobiles so you could crank them to start them. And we were very fortunate when we found this. The nozzles, the adapters, the appliances, the spotlight, everything was still on the truck. Typically that disappears soon after it leaves the department. Collectors purchase that kind of thing. This is an 853 cubic inch 6-cylinder, what they call a T-head engine, and it was unique to American La France. They made their own engines. They were copies of Lycoming aircraft engines. And it takes a lot of horsepower and a lot of cubic inches to pump water because water is heavy. This was the first motorized pumping engine we had. The 1918 Whites were strictly hose wagons. All they did was haul hose. We could control our own water pressure. Before, we had to rely on the water department to boost the pumps and create more water pressure. Typically the hydrants would have about 70 pounds of pressure in them, and this will pump up to 250 psi. This truck is a 1964 Seagrave. It was the last convertible that the City of Independence bought, and as you can see, it has windshield wipers on the inside and the outside. This was a new design in the fire service, the cab forward design, where the engine is actually behind the cab. And the guys were afraid of it when they bought it because they were afraid it would tip over without the nose out in front of them. So this was new in the fire service, and it was the coming age of what was to come, because I think all of our apparatus now are cab forward design. And this also had the first jump seats that we had behind the driver and the captain. You didn't have to ride tailboard on this any longer, although the guys did ride tailboard.